And welcome to Hero Power. I am your host Avantes, and as always, I am joined by my co-hosts Zeroshio
Green MZ skins, $10.
and Versika.
That's don't get Avanti started, please. For the love of all that's holy, do not get Avanti started.
Rar.
I love it. Free skins, $10.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's not true. We're not doing that.
So how have you guys been? Did you have a good week?
I had an alright week. There's something I want to talk about I kind of didn't put in the show notes so I could surprise you guys with.
Naturally.
Excellent.
Oh no, I did it on purpose.
All right.
Are we getting ready? Are we getting ready to go to new patrons' emails and iTunes reviews?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead
But
and lead
real
us
quick,
in.
real quick,
I want to talk about something.
you asked how my week was.
How was
My
your-
week's good. My THL team is in the hunt for playoffs. We're a long shot, but we have a chance to make it into playoffs. So I'm really excited about that. Hopefully, the next 2 weeks, we can play our hearts out. And
Did you
other
end
people,
up beating the number 2 seed last week?
we sure did.
Excellent.
The number 1 seed in our division, and the number 2 seed in our region.
Yeah.
We ended up beating them pretty handily. I was able to defeat their number 2 seed, the player of that team, and the captain. So it was pretty neat. It was a feather in our cap, and hopefully we can carry that on this week because we really need to win.
All right. So let's talk about emails, comments, and patrons. We didn't have any new patrons this week.
Hold on, okay, but we're going to go back to patrons here in just a second.
Okay. No new emails. So
No
what do you got
iTunes
for us,
reviews?
Versika?
Okay, so I think there's a little misconception out there about how patroning Hero Power works. So let me just go ahead and say right off the bat, Hero Power is in no way, shape, or form employed by or affiliated with Blizzard. They don't own us. We have zero loyalty to them. We are 3 guys that play a game that they make that we like, and that is the extent of our relationship with Blizzard. We hope to get someone from Blizzard on at some point to talk about the game that we all play and love, but as far as payment of any type from Blizzard to Hero Power does not happen. So, that being said, and that already cleared up, we're going to go on to my next topic of conversation, and that is patronage. Patronage for Hero Power goes to Hero Power.
And the community.
Well, but that's part of
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah.
It pays for things that Hero Power needs to run, and it doesn't even pay for all of that, and towards the events that we like to put on. So, in an effort of transparency, come January, I'll be making our financials clear to all our patrons so they know where their money goes, how it is being spent. But I can go ahead and tell you that the amount of patronage that we have does not pay for everything that Hero Power needs to run. It has not and will never, as long as it stays at its current level, buy equipment for us. All of our equipment has either come from a source other than our own that's not affiliated with the show through contest or so on and so forth, or has been financed or bought by individual members of this show. We've bought all of our own equipment. We have bought all of our own peripherals. That being said, when we had sponsors with Viforce, we did get some of our expansions. We got assistance in continuing with getting the expansion so that we can continue to provide decks for the show. But since that has actually lapsed, that financial responsibility is on us as well. Mm-hmm. So I want to make it abundantly clear that patron money that you pay into Hero Power goes directly back into Hero Power and does not benefit the hosts or the parent company of ECMMO at all. It goes back into Hero Power and what we do. It pays for licensing for software that we do. It pays for our taxes. It pays for the LLC that we have had to take out in order to produce content and protect ourselves. These are all things that have to be paid per year. And I can go ahead and tell you this year, we're in the red. We'll end up putting some of our own money back in to keep the show running.
We're fine with that.
Yeah.
And we are perfectly fine with that. We've never intended to make money off this.
This is a labor of love.
Yep, it sure is.
So people
Lots
have
of
wondered, people have wondered where Alchemy Lab is. But the reason there hasn't been another Alchemy Lab yet is because we actually aren't going to put out an Alchemy Lab until we can get theme music paid for. We have theme music ready to go. It's already been worked on, and we've listened to the preliminary, and we love it, but we can't afford it right now, so it's not going to happen until either patronage picks up or we get a break where we get enough months in that we don't have a bill coming out that we can afford to pay for it. So I wanted to make sure that all of our patrons were made aware of where your money goes, because that's important to me, that you have faith that when you are patroning this show, that it is going back into the content that you receive in your ear and you watch on your screens every single week. And guys, that's every single penny. It's what we do. And we do it because we want to and because we love it. The moment that it doesn't become that, we will make that known, and we'll change the way we'll change the way it happens. Just like every other podcast out there that has done Patreon. So, sorry. I wanted to make sure that was clear, because as co-owners of this business with Avantes, transparency is important to us, and we wanted to make sure that everyone knew that Hero Power, while a podcast of ECMMO, is its own entity. It does not share funds with any other podcast or any other part of ECMMO, but it is part of the tax bubble that we operate in. So,
and for transparency, I'm actually not a member of ECMMO. I'm just a host of Hero Power. So,
yep.
That being said, news.
That being said, Versika, we're going to need to see your birth certificate to prove you were born in the United States. Sorry, it's just one of those things.
So, actually, okay, so let's start off the news by saying that I think it's official that I'm not a Time Lord now. We can go ahead and lay that to rest.
So that brings us to our first topic.
Human.
Or he threw it to throw us off his trail.
Shush.
Right. So that brings us to our first topic of the news and discussions: HCT Summer Championships. Versika had a near miss. He predicted both Uya and Pavel, and while both did very well, they did fall short of even making the top 4 to go to the World Championship in January. So our top 4 going to the World Championship is Purple, Surrender, Jason Zhao, and Orange. Did you guys watch this at all? Well, I know you did. We all watched it together.
We watched it together Saturday, yeah.
We did. Yeah. I've actually spent a lot of time picking it apart. So,
yes.
Do you want me to go into some of that detail?
Yeah, absolutely. Have at
it.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the match that everyone seems to be still talking about, and that was Pavel's first match with
Baise.
I want to make sure I pronounce her name correctly. Baise. It was a good match, and I felt
good match.
I felt like, though, it should have been the first precursor that maybe Pavel was a little off his game, because one of the things that I've always thought Pavel did really well was choose his order coming in, the decks he was going to play, and basing it off what he thought his opponent was going to play. I feel like that read was off, because I feel like he queued both of them, both of the rounds that he lost to, her, I felt like he queued in a deck that I wouldn't have.
Well, I think he really, and we'll talk about this more when we get to our deck discussion, but I believe that he really underestimated, as did a lot of the other players, that Shaman deck. And not just the Shaman deck, because if you look at it just as a list, it's got a couple tech cards, but the way she piloted it was really unique. How she used Prince Valinar was just amazing. And again, we'll talk more in detail about that later. But I think that might have been what threw Pavel off. He didn't expect not so much the decks. I think he played the decks well. He didn't expect her play style.
Well, he definitely played his decks well. I think the order that he played them in was suspect, and I think that was abundantly apparent when he played against Orange. I felt like all of the decks he queued in against Orange, I would have queued in a different order. And the Pavel that I've seen play, it seems to me like his past trends would have put him playing differently. But his Shaman deck was his Achilles heel of the week. And actually, I want to say at some point I heard the caster say that it had the lowest win rate besides the Hunter deck, which there was only one of those. So it seemed like everybody struggled with consistency with that Shaman deck. But I think Pavel talked about her playstyle in his interview with Raven at the end of their match. And he said that because her decks were non-meta, he had a harder time working through his plays. And in looking, you could almost make an argument that he made some misplays. But I think it wasn't typical Pavel plays because he didn't really know what she had. Mm-hmm. He wasn't used to playing against it, and I think he was fishing for some stuff. I think he knew his win conditions. He knew where he needed to go, and it's almost like he used the number of games as an extra resource to see as much of her decks as possible and to try to get a read on her. I enjoyed watching the weekend. Surrender was one of those players that I couldn't really find much to watch. So getting to watch him play was really one of the highlights of the weekend because I feel like he was methodical. He got that whole risk reward system down. He played to his outs. He got a little lucky. But all of those things I feel like have to kind of come into play if you're going to win one of these things. So
speaking about Surrender ends up facing Purple in the semifinals and defeats Purple while Orange defeats Jason Zhao, putting Orange versus Surrender in the finals. Now, Orange really wanted to win this because he didn't want to go against his teammate, which was it Zixo? I believe.
No, I don't think that's right.
Zixo is Surrender. Hoy, that's right. Orange didn't want to have the possibility of facing Hoy come World Championship time. If you're both the winner of your season, you'll go in separate brackets.
Right.
So Orange really, really wanted to push this finals, and Surrender just had a solid line of play over Orange, and I think he beat him handily.
I tell you what, the match was really well played by both players, and you could tell Surrender was like, I don't care what color you are, I'm walking away champion.
Well,
yeah, it did go to 5 games, though.
You look at Orange's eyes, though. Look at Orange's eyes, and half the time he looked absolutely terrified. And I think at one point they went to break, and I think it looked like he was about to get sick. So I'm not sure if Orange's nerves didn't get a little bit of...
His nerves were pretty high. You could tell that. There was a great... was it the 5th game that it was Priest versus Priest?
Yes.
And Orange takes a line of play to make Surrender draw... Was it 7 different cards?
8 cards, I believe.
8 cards.
Count was
when he only had I think after he drew the 8, he had 7 cards left, so he had 15 cards in his deck.
And of those 8, he burned 6 of them.
Yes. 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But the goal was to burn Raza. And this is the one time I've ever seen a player happy that Raza was the last card in their deck. Because Raza was the last card in his deck, and he had the Velen combo in his hand, which assured him 28 points of damage and was allow him to finish the game because Orange focused on trying to burn Raza instead of trying to beat Raza, instead of trying to beat Surrender via, just taking the damage to his face. So I think it was a right call by Orange, but
if Orange burns Raza in that, the game's
he wins.
over.
Yeah, he wins.
Yeah, in fact, chat is bringing up a good point that Orange did win if Raza wasn't near the end of the deck.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. That was the right line of play by Orange. It just didn't pan out for him.
Exactly. He knew it. It was his only real out. I felt like he went for it. It didn't quite. The odds were in his favor.
Yeah.
So it just didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
I think the analysis said it was like a 55% chance of burning Raza, which is better than 50%. So
yeah.
I would have taken those odds all day.
It was a great tournament all weekend. It was a lot of fun to watch. So, speaking of tournaments, we have another one this weekend in Dreamhack Denver.
Yes.
Which starts Friday. And some notable players that will be there. We'll get to see Sidonia, Teebs, Green Sheep, Astrogation, Hot Meowth, all the way from the Asia server. We'll have Pin Ping Ho.
Yep. And we will have our HCT point earner, point leader,
yeah.
Muzzy.
Yep.
Now, a lot of people have brought up that Muzzy has won the Americas. Mathematically, Zalay could catch him if he wanted to focus on his HCT or his ladder performance and wanted to go to Denver and compete and try to get more points. He'd have to get a lot more points than Muzzy. If Muzzy didn't place in the top 16 and Zalay took it, he could likely take over the points race. However, Zalay did make a public statement saying he was going to surrender the lead to Muzzy, and Zalay, as of right now, is not on the notable players list for Dreamhack Denver. And if he doesn't go to Dreamhack Denver, there's pretty much no chance for him to take it, because he could still change his mind and compete if he wanted to.
There's a lot of ifs in those.
There are a lot of ifs. I think they're only separated by 9 points, though. So, it is possible. And Dreamhack first place is 15 points right there.
Okay. All right.
I think I agree with Zalay's decision. There's so much that would have to go into it, and the time investment seems like it basically puts you in the Hail Mary situation. Yeah. Even if you make it. So I'm not sure if the time and effort is worth I don't know. Yeah. I think I'd be training for next year.
Well, if you don't want to watch Dreamhack Denver this weekend, you can always tune in to TwitchCon, which is the exact same time, for the grand finals of the OktoberBrawl. We'll finally get to see who wins between Team Light and Team Void.
However, Team Light will be Sans Kripparrian.
Yes.
Kripparrian had to make an announcement that he will not be able to make it to TwitchCon because he has acute appendicitis and is looking at a couple weeks recovery. He is hopeful that he should be able to make BlizzCon, but is not going to be able to fulfill his obligations at TwitchCon, and is going to try to do some stuff remotely from home for TwitchCon, but cannot promise anything at this time. I'm a fan of Kripparrian. He has a lot of spicy views on the meta and especially Arena, and I hope he has a speedy recovery. I understand when health issues get involved in your life. He has a very supportive community, and well wishes go out to Kripparrian for a very speedy recovery.
All right. So which tournament you guys going to watch this weekend? TwitchCon or Dreamhack? Zerosho's not
shoot at
watching
people
either. He's going to be in the woods.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the woods shooting people with Nerf guns for the weekend. So I will miss all of the festivities for the weekend.
What about you, Versika?
I won't be watching it either because when I'm not playing Heroes for the Halloween event, I'm going to be playing WoW for the Halloween event. When I'm not playing Heroes or WoW for the Halloween events, I'm going to be playing Overwatch for the Halloween event.
Well, I actually kind of have a free weekend this weekend, so I will be tuning into DreamHack for most of the weekend. I'm pretty stoked to get to watch some. Watch some more.
What about next weekend? The weekend after this weekend?
The weekend after that, on Saturday,
I'm
having a fireside gathering. So
great! What can we get at that fireside gathering?
Segue. A bottle of arcane dust. So, all right. So, moving on.
Wow. I go to hand you the ball, you just go the other direction.
Well, you know, don't get him started. There's a fireside gathering. If you want to come. You'll be surprised. Well, you won't be surprised, but you'll get something cool.
Yeah, because available yesterday.
Here we go.
At all established tavern fireside gatherings, I cannot say that strongly enough, you can now get the Warlock portrait, Nimsy Necrofizzle.
That is amazing.
If you see a fireside gathering, I don't know, in a Walmart parking lot, chances are you won't get Nimsy by going.
So, that being said, if I go to firesidegatherings.com and I see a list of fireside gatherings, how do I tell which one I can get Nimsy at?
You want to look for the ones. Now, are you ready for this? It's tough. With the tavern sign. Not the lantern. The lantern, you won't get Nimsy. The tavern sign, you'll get Nimsy.
So that's amazing. So Blizzard has made it very easy, Blizzard and Team 5, to identify which fireside gatherings I go to that will allow me to get Nimsy Necrofizzle.
Just like that. Portrait. Super easy.
Wow. That was almost scripted.
Oh, all right. So we did have a patch
yesterday. We had a patch come out. Yeah.
Go ahead, Sergio.
Speaking of yesterday, October 17th, we had a patch update come out. This patch has a lot of information, and we have the link in the show notes. I'm not going to go over everything in strong detail, but they did some updates to the Hearthstone mechanics, and a lot of that is kind of sequencing. And the easiest way to say it is if a card is not in play when an effect happens, but becomes in play, it will not go off. In the case of
there's
Evolve,
a video.
There's a video, and we have it linked in our show notes.
It explains it well. But if we try to explain it here, we're probably just going to confuse people. So we'll just
the quick example that I'm going to say, and I'm just say it once, just so people know what I'm talking about.
Try to explain it and confuse people.
It's that effect that if you evolve, and while a parameter comes into play, he does the 1 point of damage. He won't do that anymore. Any effect that's like that, they explain that in the video. Just so people know what effect I'm talking about. They also made a change to friends list menu. I really don't know if I like this. Have you guys seen this yet?
No, I have not.
Okay, so when you open your friends list, you have on the very bottom the last played. It's no longer there. At the top, there's a little button you can click on that allows you to add friends or remove friends and manage your friends list, basically. You actually have to click on that button, then click on Add Friends, and then it will show you who you played last. So it's not as easy to just quickly add somebody. Now, this is kind of good in the fact that, you won't have a lot of... It adds steps for somebody just to troll you after a match. So hopefully it cuts down some of the salt, but I really don't think it will. I do like to be able to quickly identify who my opponent was if I queue him a second time on the ladder, and it's harder to do that now. But it's more streamlined, and it's easy. On mobile, it's great. On mobile, it's really easy to use. So I like the change. We'll just see. It's something new to get used to. They've also added the October, November card backs. If you want to see those will be on the link in the show notes. They made some arena changes, which are also will be in the show notes. But the most
No more
important
Flappy
one
Bird.
is Vicious Fledgling has been retired from arena. You cannot do it. And then lastly, they added the files needed for the Hallows End Event that's coming up, which has a lot of stuff going into it. Do you want to, Versika, who wants to talk about the Hallows End Event?
I used to be a Headless Horseman's biggest fan. All right.
Yeah, that's okay. You go ahead. You were telling me about it, so you can just go ahead and tell everybody else about it too.
All right. So first up, we're going to have some tempting treats. So basically, if you log in between October 24th at 11 a.m. Pacific and 10 a.m. Pacific on October the 30th, you will receive 1 pack of Whispers of the Old Gods and a free arena run. The following week, if you log in between October 31st at 12:01 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. on November the 5th, you will receive 1 pack of Frozen Throne and a free arena run. Now, I'll tell you in just a second what you can do with those free arena runs. They're also introducing, well, I guess that's at this point now, the Great Hallows End Arena Costume Party. So what is an arena costume party? Well, during Hallows End, you can experience an all new dual class arena mode. Dual class. Okay, so what is dual class? Basically, just like in arena, you'll be given your options to choose a class. You'll then be given a discover mechanic to pick a hero power. So you could have Jaina with the steady shot, or whatever. Yeah. So you can mix and match heroes and hero powers, which I think is pretty cool. But then it goes on to the normal arena draft, but you'll have your class cards and the other hero class cards to choose from. So
as well as neutral cards.
Yeah, as well as neutral cards. So you'll have a multi-class deck, which I think is really cool coming from a Magic the Gathering background where I used to play, dual colors or 5 colors. So this seems like it's going to be a lot of fun to me. I'm probably going to spend a lot of time in the arena these 2 weeks.
This excites me to no end. Now, the important thing to note, if you have an existing arena run, you will have that arena run with your wins at the moment of this brawl retired. And you also won't be able to start a new one within 2 hours before or 2 hours before it ends.
Right.
That way you don't have any bleed over, rollover runs that you've held on to that violate the rules of the event.
If you have an existing run, like say you're 3-0 and just haven't finished it, it'll be retired. You'll get prizes for 3-0. You'll also get a free arena run.
Yes, they will. Yeah, you also get a free arena run
back for that.
I did notice today. I had a gentleman or another player, could have been a lady, play in an arena, and they had Nex cards and Blackrock Mountain cards in their arena run. So obviously they got the word that their arena run was going to get tired, so they're going to go retired. So they're going to go ahead and finish it up. So that was kind of fun to have, what the haunted spiders or what?
Yeah.
I can't. Remember the name of the card?
Yeah, Haunted Creepers.
Yeah,
Haunted Creepers, that's it. The Haunted Creepers played against me. That was kind of funny. Kudos to them. Yeah. So make sure to finish your arena runs before this event starts.
And then the third part of this, which is a new tavern brawl, will be riding in. The Headless Horseman Rides is a special Hallows End Tavern Brawl that will run from October 25th to the 28th. The Headless Horseman will be marauding through the countryside, and it's up to you to stop him. You'll go in disguise to catch the fiend by surprise. After the brawl begins, you'll get to discover a costume that you'll wear. Each costume has its own deck featuring cards from several classes and for the first time, a passive hero power that you'll need to make the most if you want to succeed in sinking the Sinister Spectre. So, Versika, what are your thoughts on the Hallows End event?
I think it's great if you like Arena or Tavern Brawl, but if you go in and you just like normal Hearthstone, it's pretty much you're going to get 2 extra packs. I feel like they could have done a lot more with it. I feel like the bones for a really great event are there. I think they've got the K2 to do it if they wanted to put the time and effort in. But as I said in the pre-show, it feels like somebody went into a meeting and it was like, all right, Overwatch Heroes and WoW are doing Halloween events. Anybody got any ideas? And that guy that's always in the meeting that always raises his hand is like, hey, I got this idea. And they're like, great, what's for lunch? That's how I feel like this went down.
So if you were more into Arena, do you think you'd like it?
Maybe.
Okay.
But I'm not. So it's like, you took 2/3 of Hearthstone and decided to make them to do something for them. But these are also the 2/3 of Hearthstone that you pretty much always do stuff for. So it doesn't really surprise me. It's also the easiest, and I've heard that the code is a mess, so that could be a big reason why they don't really do more stuff for this, because they don't want to mess with the code that affects the casual play and the ladder, especially since they're trying to do ladder rework. I mean, I get why the focus is in these areas that are, I guess, more controlled environments, as far as they can disable Arena. They disable Tavern Brawl for half a week every week. These are things that if they disable these things, the game is still playable and people are they can still log in and play. If you start messing around with the actual game itself, casual, the main casual and the main ranked ladder, and something messes up or something conflicts with code somewhere else and you bring the whole game down. I mean, I get where the problems could be. And like I was saying, I'm glad they're actually trying to do an event, because they didn't do one last year. So, I'm glad that they actually put together something. It just, if you're not into either one of those, I mean, there are 2-3 other great Blizzard games you can play during this time.
So the question begs to me, will you at least run your free Arena run and try out this? You won't even do it, even with the new style of Arena that it is?
Nope. And I'll tell you why. Because even like today's Tavern Brawl is ShiftCon, where it's all random. It's like my opponents tend to get exactly what they need to counter me that is not in their normal deck. And when it becomes dependent on random chance as to A, how your deck is built, and B, when you get what you get, that doesn't appeal to me at all. Even if I have and the last thing I want is mage that can throw fireballs to have the hunter hero power. That's
fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair statement.
To me, that doesn't sound like any fun at all. So, it's kind of one of those things.
Sounds like tons of fun.
But and that's if you like the chaotic environment, that's great. But if you're,
I like the chaotic environment.
If you're more of a, and this is going to sound wrong, but if you like Hearthstone on more of an intellectual level, that is something that it basically just drives you nuts. So
I can understand that. I mean, that's a valid point. And it goes back to a statement I was making in pre-show. You can't always please everybody, but at least they're making the steps to try to do something different.
So I tell you, there's one way I would play Arena. There would be one change that they could implement that I would actually play Arena.
What's that?
That is, if you got a rarity, I'm not going to play someone that got better rarity in their draft than I did.
So if it was a a set draft where everyone got one legendary, maybe 5 epics, certain number of rares, and
I would be more apt to play Arena.
That's a fair statement. And I think if they did that, they would have to do less banning of cards because they could limit the powerful cards based on rarity instead of just based on random occurrences. So I could understand that. And I wouldn't be so hard-fetched to say that if that change was made, I think I would enjoy Arena better. I will say the Arena changes they made this time, I did an Arena run, and it feels like it did before they screwed it up, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
I will play against the Headless Horseman at least once. I will do the Tavern Brawl at least
I know,
once.
you know that. You got to see, no matter where Headless Horseman shows up, you've got to be there, right?
Oh, and yes, that's right. In fact, I reactivated my WoW subscription for the next month just so I can. So bring up Headless Horseman. Last week I said that I thought Headless Horseman would be the BlizzCon card because every time you see Headless Horseman in an ad, then he always pops up. Well, with the announcement of the Headless Horseman being the focus of the Tavern Brawl in Hearthstone, then I think it's a pretty safe assumption that he will not be the card.
Now, this was stated in our Discord today, pointing it out to me that, Versika is wrong because I love it when anything says somebody's wrong and I could possibly be right. But I don't necessarily agree with this. This event for the Headless Horseman runs, or for the All Hallows Eve, runs through November 5th, which is the end of BlizzCon. I could really see at BlizzCon they make the announcement that everybody's having fun with the new facing off against the Headless Horseman, and everybody's enjoying it. And he's not going away, and he is a card now. So I could actually see them using this event as a launching point for the reward for getting the virtual ticket at BlizzCon.
Headless Horseman Tavern Brawl ends before BlizzCon.
The Headless Horseman Tavern Brawl does, yes, but the actual event ends on November 5th. So the Headless Horseman leaves the Tavern Brawl and enters into the actual tavern, the game, as a card. They've done these type of things before in their other games where they've teased something and then made it more of a permanent fixture. And I could see them doing it again. So I think this actually increases the chance that Headless Horseman is going to be a card. And why would they put it on the backdrop just for a seasonal event?
All right, Versika, now finish your thought.
Oh no, I was pretty much done. I think this lessens the chance that he'll be the card, and I think with what I've seen from the BlizzCon art, there's a lot of the wizard from the Hearthstone animated short.
I wouldn't mind him.
I think that's probably going to be your card now.
Though I would rather have Lou the Paladin, but that's just me.
All right, so as we talked about just a few minutes ago, ShiftCon is the Tavern Brawl for the week. It is a repeat, so go out there and get your pack. Then,
don't expect new Tavern Brawls until BlizzCon's over, and probably 2 or 3 weeks after that.
Yeah. All right, so this week's deck, as we talked about earlier in the show, is the Shaman deck.
Played by
Baise.
Baise.
Like it sounds like visor. So, all right. So the deck list, I'm going to run down the list, and then since it's a Shaman deck, I'll kind of let Versika talk a little more in depth about it. But the deck list is 2 Blood Cell Corsair, 2 Evolve, 2 Firefly, Patches the Pirate, 2 Devolve, 2 Flame Tongue Totem, 2 Jade Claws, 2 Maelstrom Portals, 2 Primal Fin Totems, Prince Taldarum, 2 Cult Master, 2 Jade Lightning, 2 Master of Evolution, 2 Bloodlust, 2 Doppelgangster, Thrall Deathseer, and Aya Blackpaw. All right, Versika, what are your thoughts on Baise Evolve Shaman?
Well, I like it. But I will say it's one of the harder laddering decks that I've played. I feel like it's a good tournament deck, but not as suited for the ladder as maybe what we're used to, and probably not as suited for the ladder as the regular Shaman token deck. So I actually got out of work early today. I came home. I've played 25 games today. It's the most games I've played in a single day in a long time. And I've lost a lot of rank. I was almost rank 15. I think I made it back to rank 19 before the show. So I may be 1 star into 19. Yeah, it's very draw dependent. If you draw poorly, you will not win. Proper use of Cult Master and Prince 3 is super important.
Yes.
If you misplay that, you will lose. The Master of Evolution is a really neat touch. It works really well with Prince and with Evolve. But I usually find myself waiting too long to make use of him. So I'm going to try tonight when we play to use him more frequently on maybe what I wouldn't consider a prime target, and see if I can't get a little more value out of him. Now, I will say that I wanted to make sure that I played this deck in its proper form that we have showing right here for tonight's show, and got most of my practice in with that. I did make a few changes and played 5 games with my changes, and I was 3-2, which is a better win record than I had with the other ones. So what I did was I actually took out Primal Fin Totem, which I know is what most people consider a vital part of the Token Shaman deck, and I replaced it. You guys are gonna laugh at me. I replaced it with a little used card out of the Karazhan adventure. I replaced it with Wicked Witch Doctor.
Interesting.
And so what Wicked Witch Doctor does, if you don't know, is whenever you cast a spell, you summon a random basic totem. So it's a little bit like Violet Teacher. They both cost the same. She's got 1 less health. But the totems evolve better than the other minions, especially when you put them with Thrall. 2 of the games I won off the back of Wicked Witch Doctor because they didn't really have a way to deal with her after dealing with all of my other stuff. I also added in a Hex and took out 1 Jade Claws, and it's working really well. I'm going to play around with it a little bit more, and I'll post the deck list if I get it working the way I want to. But for tonight, we're going to play the base deck.
Yeah.
And, it'll be fun. It's a fun deck, even if you're not doing well with it.
Okay.
One criticism that Baise had about this deck was Prince Tal'Daram. Why not Manatide Totems? Because you can't run Manatide Totems if you're running Prince Tal'Daram. The thing about Prince Tal'Daram, if you don't know what it is, it's 3 mana 3/3. That if you have no 3 mana cards in your deck, he becomes a 3/3 version of a target minion. Now that can be a friendly minion or an enemy minion, it doesn't matter. When it does this, however, it copies the card entirely except for the stats become 3/3. So if you copy an Aya Blackpaw, becomes a 3/3 with the same abilities. However, it's now a 6 mana card. So if you decide to evolve it, it's evolved based on the 6 mana, not 3 mana of Prince Tal'Daram. Now, a lot of people think there's not really good targets to target Prince Tal'Darum in this deck. The Eye of Blackpaw is really the only one, or maybe something evolved from Doppelgangster, but you can target a threat on your opponent's side. And what she used it for is to have like a third copy of a Flame Tongue Totem, or have a 3/3 Patches, or have a 3/3 Cult Master to double up the amount of draws she gets from sacrificing her minions in trades. So she took value minions to copy to get more value out of the deck. And when she was able to use Prince Tal'Darum properly, she won her games.
Yeah, and Cult Master fills the same role as Mana Tide Totem in this deck, because you're using your minion presence to clear the board in conjunction with your Flame Tongue Totems. So you typically don't play Cult Master until the turn when you're going to get the most out of him by trading in what you already have. So your Cult Master turns tend to be when your hand size is low and you use it to refill your hand, and then the evolve on Cult Master is 1 mana cost better.
Yes.
So it evolve, and when you thrall, if Cult Master is out, you're evolving into that highly coveted 6 slot instead of the 5 slot.
Yes. And you get a lot less duds at 3, 5, and 7 than you do at 2, 4, and 6. There are some duds at the even number mana. So I like the use of Cult Master and evolves. And Master of Evolution is just tremendous value in this deck.
The other thing that Cult Master gives you is, in that Priest matchup, I have a hard time dealing with Cult Master.
Yep.
So if you're controlling the board, Cult Master can do some pretty decent damage.
Cool. All right. Well, do you guys have any last thoughts about anything we talked about today before we jump into checking out this deck? Zeroshio, we'll start with you.
I'm just going to remind people that make sure to check the validity of your firesides that you find on firesidegatherings.com. There are a lot of ones on there that are spoofs. Some people have been misinformed. If they think if they make a fireside gathering in their basement of their grandmother's house and have nobody attend, because they're a quote-unquote innkeeper, they will get the Nemzi portrait. That is not the case. Don't get fooled into those. They also have to be, they cannot be at your residence. That's firmly stated in the guidelines for fireside gatherings. It's supposed to be in a public setting, like a library or a business, maybe Starbucks or a game store, something like that. They can't be done out of your house. So if you see one at a residential address, A, it's not a reputable fireside, and B, you will not get the card back.
Go ahead, Versika.
Okay, well, I forgot what I was going to say, but I guess I will end by saying don't freak out if you don't get Nimsy in the next 2 weeks, because you'll be able to get her later down the road. She's not going away. So
yes,
be patient.
Indefinitely. They said every tavern will have her.
Term.
Yeah, evergreen. Every tavern will have her available even after the event.
Yeah. So.
Yep. All right. I was going to add something too. I don't know. I've been so turned up about all these fake fireside gatherings popping up. I've been like literally searching different areas of the country, and any I find that are at residences, I've been reporting them as fake. So I've spent a lot of time on the Fireside Gatherings website the last couple of days.
Did it get your blood up to 55 degrees Celsius?
Oh, don't even start with me.
You're turned. So Avantes, you're turned up for what?
Yes. Yeah, I actually got a guy banned in one of the Hearthstone communities today because he was posting links to an eBay thing where he was trying to sell the portrait to people. Stuff like that just burns me up. So, all right, let's Go check out this deck. I'm excited. If you guys are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via the audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you can help to support and improve it by joining our Patreon. As Versika said at the beginning of the show, every bit of it goes right back into the show or into our community. And you can do that by going to patreon.com/HeroPower. We'll see you again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power. Or another class's hero power. Or,
yeah.
You know, if you're in the arena.
My hero power. You hero power. You get a hero power.
Everybody gets a hero power.
All right. So, Versika, let us know once you have found a worthy opponent.
Neonic. A new handle?
Neonic
Neonic
GG.
G. Or another Neonic. Maybe this. Hopefully this one's cooler than the previous Neonic.
Thank you for the sub,
God.
sir. Thank you for the sub.
Neonic's really cool. That's my buddy.
And he's been in Heroes a lot.
Yes, he has.
Plays some more.
Yeah. Message me and we'll discuss that, Neonic.
Yes. Where are my emotes? We're working on the emotes.
Ooh,
we are definitely
fancy
working on the
new
emotes.
little spectate box pops out.
Ooh. Oh, maybe I should get in game.
All right, so we've got a rogue first game, and our opening hand is Bloodlust, Maelstrom Portal, Devolve. What are we looking for on the mulligan here, Versika?
Honestly, I haven't figured that out yet. I think it depends a lot on the matchup.
Mhm.
I think she built the deck around knowing what the opponent was going to play in meta. So playing Rogue right now, the meta for Rogue is the Prince's Shadow Step. So Devolve, I think, is going to be a keeper. Maelstrom Portal, maybe. Bloodlust is definitely going back.
Yeah.
I'd say it's 50-50 on Maelstrom. I don't know that we'll get a lot of value out of it. But there's so much heavy-handed stuff that we'll probably just keep it just to keep from getting a dead card in hand.
Okay.
Oh, I queued into the wrong deck.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm like,
this is your version.
I don't
with the
remember
Wicked Witch
that
stuff.
being in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, no fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Sorry,
has been a
guys.
long time since we've done that. Wow.
Oh, that's
I
funny.
think we haven't done that since our teen episodes. Awesome.
Yeah, sorry about that. I actually labeled it something else too, so I wouldn't do that. But I guess I didn't click over. I
You
don't
didn't
know.
click hard enough.
I guess not.
Reload
You know,
said that
actually,
was GG
that
easy.
That happens a lot to me on ladder. I'll play a deck, I'll go out and look at something, I'll come back in, and I'll queue up thinking I'm still selected on that deck, and it takes me back to the deck.
All right, so this time we're facing a hunter, and we have Aya Blackpaw, Firefly, and Maelstrom Portal.
Maelstrom's really good in this.
Yeah,
this
I was going to
matchup.
say, Maelstrom in this one is definitely a keeper. Firefly is definitely a keeper as well. It trades well. I hate that we don't have the coin because it's going to give him a really decided advantage. We'll throw back Aya. Hope that we don't draw patches.
Well,
Hey, Taldar.
ooh, we got Prince Taldarum. That's not bad to get something like High Mane, or even something that has been
Adapted.
adapted.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Quest Hunter.
Uh-oh. What are we doing here? All of our plans are out the door.
There's the second Maelstrom Portal.
wow.
That's going to be good, because I hear he probably has a lot of one-cost minions.
Yeah. I like the idea of throwing out the portal we just drew.
Yeah, I like that too,
So
and maybe
he doesn't think we have the second one.
Exactly.
He thinks we top decked it.
Okay.
I think we could probably get better value out of this Maelstrom portal later, but I think this is going to be a quick game one way or the other. And like Hiroshio said, I think if we throw it out now, he'll think we don't have one in our hand and not play around it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and play it. And that's actually a really good one to have. So.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup. And, you know, to get a 3/3 stealthed minion next turn. Oh, Grievous Bite. Oh, my goodness.
I love Grievous Bite.
We're in the Twilight Zone.
Oh.
I think this is probably just a totem and flame elemental.
To set up for Flame Tongue next turn?
Yeah.
I like that.
Well, actually, we'll probably want Flame Tongue next turn.
You want to couple it with Tal'Darim?
Because we'll want to couple it with Tal'Darim.
Stone Tusk.
Oh my god. We're in the Twilight Zone.
There's the Timberwolf. He's going to flood the board like we talked about.
And we have... Oh, if he doesn't... he didn't clear our air elemental... Our air totem.
Yep.
I think...
Is this a Maelstrom turn?
I think so. We'll go ahead and Maelstrom again. Get another minion on the board. Maximize
so since we got the second Flame Tongue, is it good to go ahead and throw the Flame Tongue out now?
Nope.
No. Okay. You know what? He is no nonsense. His entire deck is nothing but one cost and Grievous Bite.
All right. Time to go to work.
Right. So we're going to go to work. Flame Tongue down.
Okay.
Tal'Darim.
Good positioning.
And we're going to go ahead and take care of that since we have a 5-1 on the board.
I like that. Sets up for a crazy bloodlust next turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
We really want to draw Blood Cell Corsair.
Matt at Arms says if he has Hemmet, he'll be amazed.
He Hunters marked a 3/2?
And there he concedes because
and then he's going to hunt us down.
Yeah, we had to leave.
Hunt us down with dead. That's my question. How do you hunt us down when you... That was really neat, though. I mean, I think he had the right idea. But, yeah. I think he might have been watching our show and saw that we had Bloodlust.
Yeah, I didn't know we were playing aggro tonight. God.
Yeah.
That game took all of, 4 minutes.
That was fun. So we're 1-0, not counting the miscue, right?
Oh, we got a druid this time. Matt at Arms says
the hunt,
yeah.
All right, first again. Now I would say this low. I don't know. It's a cupcake background or a cupcake card back.
You never know. All we know is our opponent is empty inside.
You know it's Jade. There is no druid but Jade.
Well, down here in the below rank 15, there actually is a lot of the aggro token druid. But I think Jade Lightning probably has to go too.
Yeah, I think
Toss
you're
it
right.
all.
And the Man at Arms, his hunt is a turtle. I heard the chuckle.
Primal
I heard the
Fan
chuckle.
and Cult Master.
That's actually not bad. Oh wow, into Thrall.
Yeah.
We got a good curve. And a 3/3 Primal Fin Totem's not terrible.
It just dies to swipe.
Yeah, but then the other Primal Fin Totem lives.
That's true.
It puts 2 on, and 1 is actually a viable threat.
Oh.
Wow.
It's a 3/4 fire elemental.
Well, we got the Devolve coming up. So we'll be able to deal... This is clearly aggro. Oh my gosh, Devolve on mana, living mana. Please have living mana on 5.
Oh, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Just hero power pass.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a better way to deal with it. We may end up just
I was going to say, he should clear the totem.
yeah. Through the swarm. Flame elemental. Here comes the Mark of the Lotus. Coin Mark of the Lotus.
Yep.
Yep, there we go. I mean, this is like prime real estate for Devolve.
Yeah.
Ugh, but it feels bad because you know he's going to have living mana. Do we have to devolve Jade Claws here?
I
mean,
think so.
He doesn't have a
I think-
whole lot of damage on the board.
Right, but that's 8. He could
Yeah.
mark next turn.
We could put a 3/3 taunt up and copy the 2/6, which gives us another turn to hold off on devolve.
That's not bad.
We could throw out Cult Master and run the Murloc in to see what we
Forcing
draw.
a trade.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I like that too.
I think we
We're
can
not-
hold off.
He's
one
not
more
threatening
turn.
lethal yet.
Second,
I
Jade
just-
Claw.
Don't think we can hold the devolve for living mana.
That gold Jade Claws looks pimp.
I want to hold it for living mana, but I don't think we can.
Galaka. Come on, play something else. You know you want to. Nope.
So, if we devolve here, is there any merit to making a 3/3 taunt before we devolve? Because you're going to get a 1 cost, a 0 cost, a 2/1 cost.
Whoa.
That's only a 2. So Thrall will only turn it into a 4.
Sure. We could just devolve in Jade Claws.
I think that's probably a better.
Okay. Well, he's going to damage any minions he plays, and unfortunately doesn't count summons.
Not anymore.
So- No, it won't count. It never did count summons. So living mana. I'm talking about animated berserker.
Gotcha.
Living mana will not get damage trance, but he can't play any 1 health minions right now.
Oh, he played Tar Creeper instead of living mana on 5, so.
Well, that's a 3/3 that would turn 3/3 with taunt that turns into a 5/3 on the opponent's turn. That's something.
I think
I like Taldarum here
On the
on the Tar Creeper.
Tar Creeper.
so. What do you think about? What do you think about just throwing down a naked Master of Evolution and evolving it?
Into a
I don't
5
hate
mana?
that. I don't hate that. It's something he has to deal with.
I think I like that.
And it curves well.
Into a 5/3.
That's bad.
It's
Well,
still something he has to struggle to deal with.
And he only has 2 power, not counting his hero power, represented on the board.
So Neonic said, why evolve it? Why not leave it as the 4/5?
Truth be told, I was looking for something with taunt.
Yeah.
I think that does it.
Well, Tal'Darim on the Crypt Lord, and then you throw a Flame Tongue next to it, will make it a 5/4 with taunt.
Mm-hmm. On my opponent's turn, though, the Tar Creeper is better.
Yeah, but it'll only have 3 health instead of 4. But yeah. And we actually can make it a 5 health if we use our hero. If we use our hero power. You're right though. It's about like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Taunt totem. That didn't. That's not good. That does threaten pretty much everything on the board, though. There's a Savage Roar. That'll do it. We drew a lot of our top end.
Well, like I said, this deck was built to counter the meta that was at the tournament.
That's true.
Down in the lower ranks, if you're looking to use this deck to climb lower ranks, you're probably going to struggle. But I would say that once you get past rank 10, I would say this deck becomes way more effective.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1-1. We got one more game.
So our opponent is
pouring a pregame beverage.
Now I was hoping for something when I evolved it. I was hoping for something like a White Eyes or an Abomination.
Yeah. Abomination would have been great.
All right, so playing Warrior this time, and our opening hand is Jade Claws, Cult Master, and 2 Flame Tongue totems.
I would say that we'll throw back the Flame Tongues, keep the Cult Master and the Jade Claws.
Okay. Mainly because we have the coin?
Yeah. What do you think, Suroshu?
Sorry about that. I think that's fine.
I could maybe see keeping 1 Flame Tongue.
Yeah, I like the idea of 1 Flame Tongue. I wouldn't keep both.
I'll throw back 1 then.
Okay, we drew the Primal Fan. And it's Quest Warrior.
Quest Warrior, which has been gaining a little popularity lately. But I like coining out the Primal Fin totem, mainly because we have the Flame Tongue.
I did that without asking because I figured that was a no-brainer, right?
It is a no-brainer. And this allows us to clean up pretty decently the Armor Smith.
Yeah.
You didn't get a lot of value out of that Armor Smith, which is good. Wow, an execute on a Primal Fin totem.
I'll take that all day long.
So, okay. I was wondering if you were wanting a Jade Claws or not, but since we drew into the Master Evolution and we have the Cult Master, I like toteming.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I can't imagine that the Flame Tongue will stay around much longer.
No.
Go ahead.
Do we use the Master of Evolution here?
I think you trot out the... Well, no, he'll run face.
I think this is probably Jade Claws.
Neonic in chat says play the 4/5.
Yeah, the reason I like the 4/5, what Neonic's saying, is it doesn't overload us for Thrall next turn. And it doesn't matter which one we evolve. It's going to be too
either
many
one of
either
them's going to
way.
evolve into a Doomsayer.
No, the chance for Doomsayer is actually really low. I like this because it opens us up if he doesn't clear the board for Thrall.
Yeah.
Ooh. So, Flame Tongue into Jade Claws clears the 2/7 with minimal damage.
And then we can
get full
evolve.
armor. And then we can evolve, yes. We'll lose our... Well, if we use our face, no, we won't lose our totem. So, yeah. 6/5 in our face. Into it.
3/1 into his
3/1 to face, and then we evolve. This is a good evolve spot, because this puts us in the Thrall next turn if we can keep our board.
Oh, Nat.
That's pretty good, actually.
You
Millhouse,
dirty boy.
that's fine though. A 2/4 that's either going to get cleared or we're going to evolve it into a 4 mana.
Bionic in chat says you win with this deck by controlling the board. The evolve value is insignificant.
It's true. But
Hey, that's a
value,
perfect target for the 2/3.
Yeah. So I like hitting the Cobra into it, go face with everything, and then we Thrall.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ursika?
Yeah.
I don't think we need the Cult Master here. We'd only get one card off of it.
Yeah,
I see the logic.
Well, no, I'm thinking Brawl.
Oh, yeah, Brawl next turn.
But I think they only run one.
But we're in the same Brawl situation regardless.
Right. I'm just wondering if he's going to waste a Brawl on what we currently have. If maybe Bloodlust isn't a better...
Bloodlust could work here, yeah.
But I don't want to give him cards.
Of course, Bloodlust is, to finish him off, but yeah.
I really like the Thrall here, though. That's just me, though. And I see the merit in Neonic suggesting Cult Master. We just get one card out of it, though. We're going to get... It's not terrible. The 2/3 is kind of bad. 6/6 is good, and the 4/5's pretty much average for 4 mana. 2/3 is the only one we got really short on. The 6/6 is actually pretty good. Yeah, I think both lines were solid plays. In this position, you only have a 3 minion board for a possible brawl, and it sets us up for a good Bloodlust if he decides to hold it. I don't think he's going to decide to hold it when we're showing 12 damage on the board, but he could be upstairs, seeing if there's any hot pockets. Exactly.
That's
there we go.
where he
Getting
is.
himself a Yoo-hoo. He's done folded his phone up, put it in his pocket.
All right.
Okay, so since we finished a little bit early,
You want to play your version?
we're going to play my version just to show the difference.
Okay. Now, I don't have the list to post
It's
for
okay.
your version, so
We'll talk about it.
And we'll get Versika's list and we'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, and we'll put it in the deck.
Matt at Arms says folded his phone up. What year is it, Zeroshio?
We said he had a good phone. I'm old. Shut up. Showing my age.
All right.
Flip phones for
So
the win.
this is Versika's version, and we're playing against a hunter again. Opening hand is Jade Lightning, 2 Cult Masters, and Aya.
We're going to throw back
All of it.
All of it but one Cult Master.
Okay.
Against
Again,
Hunter?
because we have the coin.
Because we have the coin.
Okay. We got a pretty good hand for Colt Master on 4. We could probably develop a decent board against Hunter with Firefly and Bloodsoul Cultist.
So there's one of the cards that's different from your version from hers is the Wicked Witch Doctor.
Yep.
So Cultist on 1, is it because Eaglehorn Bow is pretty much non-existent in the meta right now?
Yes.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Hex is also a difference.
Yeah. Especially since now it's 4 mana instead of 3.
Okay.
Clear out Conley. I would imagine this will get adapted.
Unleash the Hounds. Wow.
Clear the board.
I'm kind of curious on popping the Kindly and not having him pop it.
Because I was hoping it would get adapted so I could hex it.
Okay. So do we just Firefly Hero Power right now?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think Firefly...
Because I'd like to save the coin for the Wicked Witch Doctor.
Oh yeah, we're definitely saving the coin for the Wicked Witch Doctor.
We could next turn we could Wicked Witch Doctor coin Flame Elemental.
Yeah. I don't think there's any merit to playing that this turn.
Yeah, that's
Just
just my thought.
Going through my...
Because this makes his trades kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Not
No, it
anymore.
At least we know he's trading, though. So, I mean, he's clearly playing the Shaman right. There's the Crackling Razor Maul into health.
Thing
But
from
also-
Below is also a different edition.
Yeah.
So we can Hero Power coin into Thing from Below, or we can Wicked Witch Doctor coin into Flame Elemental, lowering the cost of our Thing from Below for next turn. Not really in a lethal range.
She's just a 3/4, so she's going to die to either the Razor Maw or the Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we really don't have another good line of play.
Doppelgangster's the only other line of play.
Yeah, coin Doppelgangster. Which will just get cleared, but it'll clear 2 of his minions.
I think I like... What about just hexing the wolf?
Just go for it.
Yep.
The only bad part of that is it can be Houndmastered.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it removes 4 damage off the board immediately.
Correct.
And the other worst part is the frog will not devolve.
No.
So if it gets buffed, it stays the buffed frog.
A devolve
I have
would be
purposely-
nice.
Yeah. Well, there's Evolve. We
Now
can.
we can Doppelgangster coin evolve.
Sure can.
I think that's the play.
It's really the best line. 3 6/6s for 6 mana. I'll take that for $1.
Nice.
That's nice.
that's-
yeah.
That's really good. A 5/5, a 3/8, a 4/5. Death Rattle bring a 4/5.
Kill
Kill
command.
command.
Run in the Big Bad Wolf. Okay.
Building up his hyena.
Yep. That's all right.
Question is, how big does he? He's just gonna go face. He leaves
That's-
his hyena open. Though.
That's good though, because now we can, totem and Thing from Below, or we've got options.
We could
Yeah.
throw the tongue thing below.
think that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Now remember, when the frog dies, the hyena is going to become a 6/4.
Right.
So you'll run Karen into that.
Right. We'll be running Cairn into. I'm going to run Cairn into this to the 6/4 because he'll just come back as Bane.
Right.
Exactly, and it'll
saying.
set up for Bloodlust. So, is there a reason you didn't hero power so that the thing from below can be played, or do you want the flame elemental?
I want the Flame Elemental on the
Okay.
board.
Gotcha. Just clarifying for.
In case we draw into Thrall.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Gotta
would be a
be
Houndmaster.
But it's also one more point of damage if I decide to Bloodlust.
Kind of curious on his hesitation to Houndmaster the 4/3. He's going face.
Ooh, interesting.
That's lethal, right? 11, 14 plus 12, 14, 12, 26, two off lethal. Is my math right? 14 and 12 is 26. 29 for sure. No, it's not 29 for sure. It's not lethal, by the way.
Yeah, Cult Master, run the Fire Elemental in.
I've already used patches. Need to clear the 4/3. So he's used one kill command. So the only thing we're dead to is what? Kill command on Lisa Hounds?
Leroy
Jenkins hero power?
Yeah. Hero power, yeah. There's that too. We were 2 off lethal. That was close.
Yeah. Alright.
All right.
You want to do one more? We got 7 minutes left.
Well, that's 4 games. Do you want to do another one?
Do one more with this
All
deck.
right.
One more. Just one more.
Yeah.
Well, it's we finished the audio portion actually a whole lot earlier than I thought we would with as much news as we had.
I knew we were going to burn through it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I was on a pace tonight because I knew we had to talk about. I expected you to talk about Headless Horseman more, but that was just my thought.
All right.
Neonic says let Twitch chat play one.
Okay.
What?
So what are we throwing back?
So
You
we're
guys
playing
have to
everything
hurry
on a
because you're on a
15-second delay.
Yeah.
That's probably not a good idea. I'd say we keep Firefly and Maelstrom against Priest.
Do you keep the Doppelgangster since you have the coin?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Chris says keep the Maelstrom Portal, keep Firefly.
Yeah, that's what I would have thrown
Neonic
back
says
to.
the same thing, so
Welcome,
All right.
Chris. Good to see you, buddy.
he's been here all night. Zero
Patches.
God.
I didn't see him in chat. Neonic's got the whole screen blue with his name. I can't even see anybody else.
Hey, Quest Priest. We have now played
What is this?
3 Quest decks.
Everybody that plays quests out at rank 20, is that just the thing?
Kind of.
So, because of
Neonic says
patches
Firefly.
into anything else plays into Potion of Madness, Firefly actually plays around Potion of Madness pretty well.
Yeah, I like Firefly here too.
So at least we can devolve some of these death rattles, but
So Neonic says save patches for the Bloodlust.
yes.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking probably Maelstrom here.
Is there
That'd
any
be
merit
fine.
to deny him the draw?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I like Maelstrom here too. But let's see what Twitch chat says.
Is Maelstrom any different than just sacrificing our 1/2 and hero powering?
Well, the Maelstrom targets against Priest is going to be pretty
Limited.
low.
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and Maelstrom then. I'm just thinking of different angles. I'm devil advocate. That's actually not a really bad grab considering Potion of Madness.
Mad at Arms says, I say bottom right and save 20 minutes. Kappa.
So if we kill it on our turn, it summons a 2/2.
Which isn't, I mean, a 2/2 vice a 3/1. It might as well, I mean, it's not really a big deal.
We could put down a Flame Tongue.
And patches to
Base?
kill it.
Yep.
Trade with token, Flame Tongue, and Elemental token. And our hand is garbage.
Elemental on the right. Do we go ahead and trade this 3/2 in? I think we do. Well, no, Neotic, we don't have to. There's always a choice.
Alright.
We got the other Flame Tongue.
I think we Flame Tongue patches and go face for 6.
I like Flame Tongue hero power. I like the idea of saving patches for when we get to Bloodlust.
Alright.
Because it's guaranteed 4 damage at that point.
Yeah. That was a rough draw. Like, I literally don't think we could have drawn anything in the deck that would have been
Tack
less
face, hero
value.
power pass.
Yep, I think so too.
We don't even waste the Flame Tongue?
No.
Okay.
Not till we see that other Shadow Word Pain.
If there are 2, this could be a Razaka.
Oh.
I think that's a
That's
pretty good
gotta
hex
go.
target.
Yeah, hex targets don't get much better than that in this
We
deck.
could-
Yeah,
I mean, we could devolve it, but I mean, what are we going to do with the rest of the mana?
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. I think Hex is the way to go. But I would Hex it so that it gets cleared so that he can't put out that 2/6 taunt that can buff it. So I'd Hex it and then run the 1/2 into it. Yeah, Mad at Arms. I wish that Spirit Singer Umbra was good too.
Hex and hero power. You can't. That's too much unless you're using the coin.
I think we saved the coin for Bloodlust shenanigans with the charge minion. Where we can Flame Tongue and Bloodlust and put out patches the same turn. Oh. Mind if I roll need?
Need.
Alright.
So, if we Wicked Witch into Devolve, we're going to get us a totem because we probably want to go wide.
Oh, here, say, what do you think about Wicked Witch into Devolve into Coin into Patches?
I mean, we could do that. Setting up
Or-
for Bloodlust next turn.
Or what do you think about Wicked Witch into Flame Tongue into Coin into Patches?
Which devolve is solid. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we need to use a Flame Tongue.
Mad at Arms
This
says
turn.
go wide into Dragonfire seems good.
Yeah, go
The
wide
Onyx
into
says do
Dragonfire.
not
seems
waste
good.
patches.
We'll clear that.
Yeah, clear that. They got Wow. Oh yeah, Spirit Singer Umbra was 6 mana. No. Onyx Bishop was 5 mana. Sorry.
Yeah.
His stats were misleading. I do like the idea of going wide.
So now, depending on what he does here, he's going to kill the totem. We could next turn...
There's a Holy Nova.
He's going to clear the board.
Because he's smart. And it wasn't Dragonfire Potion. Man at Arms. It was Holy Nova.
Well, Patches is in our hands, so Bloodsail Corsair has 0 value against a priest.
Yeah.
Plus he's running Medivh.
Well, so far he has not played 2 of anything.
Neonic says we need the fishy totem that Versika took out of the deck.
I knew there was something fishy about this deck, or not something fishy about this deck.
This deck's not fishy enough.
That's right. Yeah, I think we're running dry.
I was going to say, last game we drew all of our top end. This game we can't draw any of our mid game.
Right.
Oh.
It's a tale of 2 games.
Dude, it's like all you do is roll need. Like that's not even like that gear's not even for your class or spec. Or these wild jokes not doing anything for you?
No.
So we can try to roll into a air totem.
Neonic says hero power.
Which we didn't get. Maelstrom Portal.
He says if it was spell power, Maelstrom. If not, Devolve.
Yeah, Devolve. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, why are you constantly rolling need? He went from getting a loot order to a polluted loot order.
Yeah.
Wasn't up.
That's an upgrade.
We can Flame Tongue into clearing the 1/3 so he doesn't draw. Your Culver Seeking. Rope's going.
Kill the card draw.
It came a little too late.
Yeah. Yeah, Twitch chat running the game on a 15-second delay is kind of rough. Which is the default delay, by the way. Can't get any shorter than that without cutting. Now, I love Shadow Ascendant. I wish, well, first off, I wish more of a tempo-based priest was viable. I did run a Zoo Priest when that set first came out, and she was very useful. I think we're done, though. I can't see a way to come back. Well, that's a good Maelstrom. The Jade Claws, yeah. Flame Tongue can clear us another one.
Sorry.
No, I see your line here, and if he doesn't, he's going to need to pick off minions, but he can only hit one, and he will probably try to get rid of the Flame Tongue Totem. If he doesn't get rid of Dragonhawk with Bloodlust, that's 8 right there.
Nice.
You just
like
Mass Dispel.
Yep. I think that's going to about do it.
Well,
Yeah.
this is actually the problem with not only the deck that we played earlier, but with pretty much everybody's token shaman this weekend, was it just drew inconsistently.
Yeah, that's true. All right, and okay, real quick. Right back.
We're going to go ahead and just concede this out, finish out the show.
Yeah.
Since we're 5 over.
All right, guys.
But I'm still working on it. I want to find, actually, it was funny because we talked about the positioning of Cairn in that last one.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cairn in conjunction with the Flame Tongue totems against everyone but Priest.
Okay.
Just because of the value you get from his death rattle. But yeah, it was funny. One of the things I played around with earlier today, and this is sort of my last thoughts while you ask for them.
Yeah.
Cryostasis. Ooh. Actually, Mad at Arms, I like that. I'm going to, I'll give that a shot. Especially with the Wicked Witch Doctor. That actually sounds
Synergy.
pretty cool.
Yep.
But one of the things I actually played with is I actually dusted off Illidan and put him in earlier.
Okay.
To evolve. So, I mean, I'm playing around with it. I'm still trying to figure out if I can get it just a little more consistently. Or just a little more consistent, because it like I said, it tends to draw dead. It even drew dead on the pros this weekend, so.
Okay. Cool.
I think it's probably not the tier 2 deck that everybody thought it was.
Okay. Zeroshio, last thoughts?
If you want to see this deck piloted in probably the best way possible, check out that first round series of Baise versus Pavel. The very first game is her shaman game, and that's probably the best you'll see this deck. I do agree it's not really a viable ladder deck, and it really shined because of the deck she was matched up against.
Mm-hmm.
So she scouted out her competition well, at least with Pavel. But she did have some bad draws and some rough decisions to make in the later rounds, that, especially against Coco Sasa, that cost her her spot in the top 4.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't done so already. Give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. For more details about our Patreon, you can check out patreon.com/heropower. Until next week, good gaming.
Bye, guys. Have fun.